Who won night 2 of the WWE draft? Was it Raw? Was it Smackdown? Well, it certainly wasn't us the Fuels, because night 2 was just as boring as night 1. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. What is the point of a WWE draft? I know the drafts haven't been good for a while now, but Jesus Christ, I think this 2024 one easily, hands down, the worst draft we have ever seen. I mean, you've got all these draft picks, 6 rounds on Raw, 4 rounds on SmackDown. There is a simple way to just get rid of all of that shit. You could have a smaller amount of rounds. Just have 5 picks each. Raw gets 5 picks, SmackDown gets 5 picks, but you can only pick people from the opposing brand. Raw has to pick 5 SmackDown people, SmackDown picks 5 Raw people, and maybe each brand can pick like 3 non-champions that they want to secure, that they want to make untradeable. You know, there's lots of ways you could do it. Like, just borrow shit, just steal shit from back in the day, from previous drafts. It's not hard. 2002 draft was epic. 2004 draft was good. 2006, 7, 8 draft was good. 9 even, you had the matches and you won a match and you got a pick for your brand and it was like random. That was good. But even the 2016 draft they done with Mick Foley and Steph taking on Bryan and Shane McMahon, that was good. But I mean, what we've had since then has been diabolical. And I mean, if the draft's going to be so bad, there's no point doing it. But anyway, let's get straight into this. So again, just like with the night 1, we're just going to look at the rounds here, and I'll give my opinion on who won each round, and then at the end of it, I don't know, we'll look at who won the night overall, and then I'll give my final thoughts on who came out victorious over both nights. So, round 1, Raw gets Imperium, SmackDown gets Jade Cargill, Raw then steals Damage Control from SmackDown, and SmackDown selects Kevin Owens. So, technically here, SmackDown have kept Jade Cargill and Kevin Owens. Raw has kept Imperium, but Raw has stolen Damage Control away from SmackDown. I mean, who is victorious here? I've got to say, honestly, man, it is probably Raw. They did get Imperium. I mean, they did get Damage Control away from SmackDown. Although, I mean, Kevin Owens and Jade Cargill are decent picks as well, but it is 6 for 2 at the end of the day. I mean, I'll say that Raw won round 1, but it's marginal. There's not much in it. It could go either way. It depends on how you look at it. The only reason I'm giving Raw the slight edge is because they got 6 for 2, but you could argue Jade Cargill's going to be a bigger star than anybody in Damage Control, and then Kevin Owens is better, in my opinion, than Gunther anyway, so I mean, you could go SmackDown. I will go Raw just for the sake of it. Right, round 2. CM Punk was the first draft pick. He should have been number 1 in round 1, but whatever. The draft's broke. SmackDown selects The Pride, Bobby Lashley, Dawkins, Ford, and B-Fab. Raw selects Braun Strowman. SmackDown selects Tiffany Stratton. I like Tiffany Stratton, but Raw won this one. 100%. Raw got CM Punk, the biggest name going in the draft, the guy that should have been drafted first, 100%. And then they also got Braun Strowman, who technically was a Raw guy, but we haven't really seen Strowman over the past, probably 3-4 years. Strowman's been in and out of wrestling. He's very rarely appeared. He's been injured a lot. So I think Braun Strowman coming back does feel like a new signing, you know. It kind of does feel like he's been unemployed and he's just been signed because he's been injured so much over the past couple of years. So it does feel like a big deal, in my opinion, Braun Strowman. Plus, he is a good wrestler, I think, for a big man. He works the big man style well. Yeah, I've always been impressed with Braun Strowman. When he first debuted, I thought he was shit, but he did improve, and, you know, he's a big guy. He's a monster, as he calls himself, the monster among men, and there's no reason why he can't be right in the main event scene on Raw. So I think that's a good pick for Monday Night Raw. I'll go Raw. Raw easily won round 2. I mean, I like Lashley, I like Tiffany Stratton, but, I mean, Raw won. Simple as that. It's 2-0 to Raw. Right, let's get into round 3. We have Raw getting the Latino World Order, SmackDown getting Legado del Fantasma, Raw got Drew McIntyre, SmackDown got Nakamura. I mean, this is another win for Raw, because they got Drew McIntyre and he's one of the best things going in wrestling nowadays. So, I mean, yeah, Drew McIntyre. It's an easy win just for Drew alone, but then you factor in that Raw also got Rey Mysterio and Carlito. That's cool. So I mean it's 3-0 Raw. As far as I can see right now, Raw's winning this bad boy 3-0. Round number 4, Raw got the Judgment Day, SmackDown got Naomi, Raw got Eli Dragunov, and SmackDown got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. You know what? It's another win for Raw. I mean, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, those two alone, alright, I'm not a big fan of JD McDonough, but the stable, I guess, is not bad. Look, it's 4-0 Raw here. Raw has won these rounds by 4-0. If you've got any other... The only round you could give to Raw was the first round... SmackDown, was the first round. First round was pretty even. But since then, man, Raw's been tanking SmackDown here in this draft. Round 5, Raw gets the New Day, SmackDown gets Pretty Deadly, Raw gets Lyra Valkyria, SmackDown gets Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Okay, this one is closer, 100%. Raw is getting I think Raw is getting the better female selection, definitely. And people would say that Raw is getting the New Day, and the New Day are better than Pretty Deadly, but I think the New Day are stale. I think there's more life, there's more value in Pretty Deadly. And I just don't really care for Lyra Valkyria either, so I'm going to give SmackDown I'm giving SmackDown their first win here, just for Pretty Deadly. For me, the New Day should probably split up. They're just not exciting anymore. Maybe give them single runs, but yeah, I'll go Pretty Deadly. I think SmackDown gets this one. It's 4-1 to Raw. Round 6, we have the Final Testament for SmackDown to Raw, DIY from Raw to SmackDown, Bronson Reed from Raw to Raw, and then Blair Davenport to SmackDown as the final pick. You know what? I'm going to have to go with Raw here again. Raw got... I mean, they all suck, but fuck it. Scarlett's kind of hot, so yeah, Scarlett Bordeaux's hot. I'll go with that. I mean, they got 5 in the Final Testament. You know, they got the numbers here. I'll go Raw. I think it's 5-1 Raw. And the supplemental draft picks: Apollo Crews goes from Raw to SmackDown. Diamond Mine stays on Raw. D-Jack goes from NXT to Raw. Giovanni Finci goes from Raw to SmackDown. Caden Carter and Katana Chance go from Raw to Raw. Natalia, Raw to Raw. New Catch Republic, SmackDown to Raw. Odyssey Jones, Raw to Raw. And Tegan Knox, Raw to SmackDown. So, Raw won that, didn't they? I mean, easily. Raw got D-Jack. D-Jack, he's the only guy that I'm really paying attention to here, and Raw got him. So Raw won the supplemental draft as well. That's 6-1 for Raw. Then we get a bunch of people here that weren't drafted. So look, overall, I'm not going to go over night 1 again, but I can't really remember. I thought the first night was pretty even, although I think I gave Raw the slight advantage. But Raw has absolutely decimated SmackDown here on night 2. So for me, 100%. It's all about Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw won this draft, and their roster is much better. But I guess it's a 3-hour show. They probably need more stars than SmackDown do, so we'll see how it works out. Not that it really matters, because we know the brand split's a load of shite, and people will just randomly move from brand to brand anyway, so it's not that important at the end of the day. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.